It has been 3 long days since an unthinkable act of violence shattered the Grand Blanc Township community. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you for joining us. Now, the community was forever changed when a man drove his truck into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, opened fire on worshipers, and set the building on fire.
4 innocent lives lost and 10 others injured in the chaos. Both Mike and I have been in Grand Blanc Township speaking with neighbors still trying to process the horror there. Well, tonight, 7 News Detroit anchor Glenda Lewis is live there seeing firsthand how the community is trying to move forward. Glenda?
And Carolyn, Mike, good evening to you. It is evident really on every corner, whether it's the lighted billboard at the Culvers on Dort Highway that says Grand Blanc Strong, or the giant billboard on US 23 South, you can see that this community is rallying together, wrapping its arms around each other, and moving forward in faith. Right behind me, about an hour and a half ago, this man holding a cross, resurrecting that image to say we are strong, we still have our faith, and we are together in moving forward. And as this community works to heal, we have learned a gathering will be held at Grand Blanc High School football stadium. That's next Tuesday at 7 p.m. And this comes as a survivor gives us a chilling look into the chaos, penning her experience, writing about how she stared into the gunman's eyes while kneeling beside her dying father. She wrote about forgiveness. 7 News Detroit reporter Faraz Javid brought us live coverage of this tragedy unfolding Sunday morning, and now he's sharing a new account from inside the church.
2 days after the deadly attack at the LDS Church right here in Grand Blanc Township, I'm learning more about the innocent lives lost. Of the 4 killed, one of them is Bill Meyer, camera shop owner Terry Green's father-in-law. Now, Green wasn't available in person to talk to me, but I was allowed to share his Facebook post. In it, he says his wife's family was at Sunday's service. While they survived, his father-in-law did not. The post also adds that they take comfort knowing he's at peace in heaven and asks for prayers for others who weren't as fortunate.
It shocks you to the point where you can't believe it.
A retired teacher, Tom Guzman, is one of many who came to the shop to pay their respects with flowers and donations.
The world is small and we got to be there for each other.
The GoFundMe set up for the family mentions raising money to help support the victim's wife of over 50 years get through the bills and living expenses, as she will now be facing a loan. The victim is also survived by his 4 children. One of his daughters wrote this 1-page-long emotional letter that's both heartbreaking and surprising. In it, the victim's daughter, who was also at the church, describes locking eyes with the shooter, a 40-year-old war veteran, Thomas Sanford. The letter describes the shooter's eyes were blue, but later realized they were seeing their own reflection in his. She writes in part, "When he came over to me, I felt very calm, peaceful, even as I kneeled next to my dad, my hand still on dad. It felt like a long time. Stared into his eyes while answering his question. The only way I can describe it is I saw into his soul. I never took my eyes off his eyes. Something happened. I saw pain. He felt lost. I deeply felt it with every fiber of my being. I forgave him. I forgave him right there, not in words, but with my heart." The letter ends with a plea to all of us: drop the anger and hate because they only fuel more harm. Even small changes in the way we talk to each other can help make the world a better place. Another victim, John Bond, was also shot and killed on Sunday. The GoFundMe page describes him as a loving husband, father, and grandfather. John was a Navy veteran who served for 9 years. You can find both GoFundMe pages on WXYZ.com, including that emotional letter. Also on our website, we have resources listed for the victims as well as all those impacted by this tragedy. In Grand Blanc Township, I'm Faraz Javid, 7 News Detroit.
Harrowing stories all around, from daughters to fathers to babies, of how lives changed inside those walls.